Hello Hyruleans! Welcome back to Hyrulean at Heart. My name's Lillian and this is everybody's favorite Hylian hero, Link. You might have seen my video where we covered 9 things that you could possibly be overlooking in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Today I'm back with a second part to that series, but this time we're going to be covering 15 secrets and things that you could be missing right now. So without further ado, let's jump into this. Once you've completed your map in Tears of the Kingdom, it's easy to just zoom in and read all the locations, but if you take your time to look at what these locations actually are named after, it's quite surprising. Like, let's zoom in right here. There are already so many things that I could cover, like Sahasra Slope being named after Sahasrara from A Link to the Past, Pierre Plateau and Bonuru Stand named after the 2 little scarecrows, Nabi Lake, like Navi of course, Owlin Bridge from Skyward Sword, and yeah, there's really just a lot here. Mount Daphne's, Mount Gustav, that's named after 2 past kings, Manhala Bridge, named after Manhandla, Aquame Lake, maybe named after Aquamentus. Yes, the map is full of so many Easter eggs, it's hard to cover them all, but you open up your map in Hyrule and take a look for yourself. If you've played the past games, you'll recognize these names, whether they're altered or they literally just stayed the same. Something funny I found out while just messing around in the game is that dragon horns stick into the ground. Let's take one of Farash's horns there, make it go vertically, and there. We have a dragon horn right into the ground. It's really cool. You can take some nice photos for your compendium or have some nice props and your selfies. I had no idea about this and it's pretty interesting. Dragon horns can be pretty sharp, I guess. This dashing Hylian set is probably the first outfit you bought in the game. You can buy it at Lookout Landing as soon as you go down to Hyrule, if you have the rupees, and you'll probably recognize it from Tears of the Kingdom's predecessor, Breath of the Wild. But have you finished the mayoral election in Hateno Village? If you've done that, you can go straight over to Cece, and you can wear the hood down so that you can see Link's face better. It might be better to show your face here. If you like, I could give your outfit that personal Cece touch. Ah, beautiful! So now you can wander around Hyrule while still wearing this outfit, but you can see Link better. And you can always put the hood back up whenever you want, for free. And after the election, you could talk to Cece and she'll rank your outfit. She'll give you points based on if you're wearing a full set. You can ask for the fashion check. And she'll recognize your line of clothing. This one's from the soldier's line, and she's completely correct. She's impressed that we put together a complete set, and she'll give us 100 points. You also get to see a fun little note on what she says about each and every outfit in the game. So when you come up to her wearing a full outfit, you can get new dialogue for every one, and it takes a little while, but it's worth it after you've got all of Cece's comments, and they're pretty fun to read. Have a full 100 points, soldier! Speaking of soldiers and outfits, have you paid close attention to Link's Archaic set? Yes, this is the first outfit he acquires in the game on the Great Sky Island, and if you've seen all the Dragon's Tear cutscenes, maybe you'll recognize something. Let's watch one like A Show of Fealty. Look at all the soldiers lined up. They're wearing that very outfit. So Link's ancient outfit there that he acquires used to belong to a soldier who fought for King Rauru and Queen Sonia. One of my favorite side adventures in the game is photographing these ancient tablets and showing them to Wordsworth so that he can translate them and you can read them as if it weren't written in such gibberish. Yes, truth be told, it does look a little bit like gibberish. But really, it's written in Middle English, a language that we don't speak anymore. It looks very strange to see it like this. All of the letters look jumbled up, but really, you can read it. You could see, this king thinks it good adventure to learn of the land's folk. To see his head bent to listen is such pleasure. It would be something like that. But if you can't read them, you could just ask for Wordsworth's take. He'll kind of translate it a little bit more for you and break it down. Something funny that I did when I first saw these is that I fed it to an AI chatbot. It told me that these were written in Middle English, and it basically decoded it for me and put it into modern English. That was easier to read. You could do the same, but it's part of the experience to read it how it was meant to be. All these accounts are written by a woman who served King Rauru and Queen Sonia, and Zelda, and Minoru, and all of her stories are very interesting to read. There are 13 total, and the whole side adventure is super exciting. These ancient tablet islands are also definable by their distinct shape. It seems to be a sundelion. How lovely! Reading these for the first time, I realized, why isn't this servant shown in any of the cutscenes? It would have been so fun to see her fleshed out like that. Something interesting is that when you go beneath Hyrule Castle again to get to Demon King Ganondorf, you can break apart the sediment that was blocking the hidden murals, and they kind of unveil Zelda's history, so it's a good thing that she did not see them when she was exploring beneath Hyrule Castle with Link. It depicts her as a light dragon, soaring into the sky, and first obtaining the Master Sword. I don't know how I would feel about seeing things that I did in the past before I did them if I was a time traveler. So it's a good thing Zelda did not see them. This is another one of the hidden murals shown right here. This is the imprisoning war with Rauru and the sages. That's Zelda getting the Master Sword, as Link sent it through to her. And then this. She becomes a light dragon, and all the sages are watching, along with 2 steward constructs shown, and 1 woman. You can see that some of these figures shown here are the ancient sages, and that's obviously a steward construct, but that just looks like an ordinary Hylian girl. So it makes me wonder if maybe that was one of Nintendo's little hints that that is the maid who wrote the ancient tablets. I'm not sure. It's just a theory, and it doesn't really tell us anything about this servant. If you've played through TotK, I do not doubt that you've seen the strange Gloom roots in the depths. These strange roots seem to be filled with the power of darkness itself, and that is because they were created when Ganondorf was, revived and spewed gloom all over the world. You may have already noticed this, but it's interesting to note how all of these roots point towards Hyrule Castle, right where the source of the gloom is. And then, look where I am in the depths here. Those are not your ordinary gloom roots. These are massive ones. That is here in the Gerudo Highland depths, right beneath Safia's table, or right beneath something else. A show of fealty, which we were mentioning earlier. It shows Ganondorf bowing down, and it's a little strange that these giant gloom roots, and tons of them, are placed right beneath a geoglyph depicting their creator, Ganondorf. Just like the old days, Tears of the Kingdom brings back that classic Zelda feature that the Master Sword will shoot out beams when you're at full health. This was also in Breath of the Wild, but oops, I killed a cricket, but it's notable that it uses up some of the Master Sword's energy. That's okay, because you get to shoot out cool projectiles without even using a bow and arrow. It all comes from the sword that seals the darkness. But what if Link gets hurt, like this? Ah! We're not at full health anymore, and we cannot use the sword beams. Well, never fear. If you have the champion leathers that Zelda hid for Link inside of Hyrule Castle, you have nothing to be afraid of. Put these on, and you'll be able to shoot out Master Sword beams whenever you like. And you don't even need to be at full health to do it. Pretty cool, huh? The ancient sages. Just the mention of them. It seems to be a throwback to other Zelda games all over again. They are the ancestors of the individuals we now think of as sages. On Zelda's orders, they left behind their secret stones for their descendants to claim when the Demon King had been revived again. Way far into the future, thousands of years after their time. And yet they did it. You may recognize these people. You may see the big Goron and remember him like, oh, that's Darunia. or the Zora, although she doesn't look like it, as Princess Ruto, or the Gerudo as Naburu. Naburu was the Sage of Spirit, but now we have Minoru in her place, and Naburu now seems to be the Sage of Lightning. While we know these sages' names, I can't even guess the Rito's. He's a male, so he wouldn't be Medley. I'm not sure about him, but for the rest, I'm pretty sure that they might be Naburu, Darunia, and Ruto. And of course, we have Rauru, the Sage of Light, who guides them all. His character design has changed drastically. I apologize. I could talk on about this for hours and hours and hours and hours. If you haven't read Sight and Stone Monuments, you're missing out, my Hyrulean friend. These were written while he was still a prince before the upheaval, and he was told to write over his father, King Dorephan's words. They go in order. There are 2 anecdotes, I believe, and many parts of the Learnings of the Zora. This one is Learnings of the Zora Part 2, and here he actually addresses Ruto, his great ancestor. It is written that long ago there was a strong-willed Zora princess who was as meandering as a winding river. Yes, we all know that. This princess, who was dearly loved by her fellow Zora, was as noble as she was innocent. Her name was Ruto. One day, a powerful and wicked man tried to take over Hyrule and brought great ruin to the once peaceful Zora's domain. Here, he is clearly mentioning Demon King Ganondorf and the imprisoning war that caused great strife over all the land of Hyrule. Our tales speak of fallen Zora soldiers drifting down the river as it sadly reflected the chaotic retreat of the terrified Zora. Princess Ruto bravely fought back her tears as she bore witness to the tragic misery unfolding in the domain. Even amid her heartbreak, the Zora princess did all she could to help the weak and elderly escape. Next, she swam against the river's current and climbed the mighty waterfall to challenge her foe. The details of this fight have fallen victim to the haze of time. Few details remain. Still, it is said that she was aided by the Princess of Hyrule and the hero of legend, and together they saved Hyrule. So the legend goes. I, Sidon, Prince of the Zora, cannot help but ponder these events as I listen to the Zora children play in all their innocence. As Princess Ruto's descendant, it is my fate to carry the torch of her brave acts into tomorrow and beyond. I shall not fail. Very lovely, poetically written. It's beautiful. But have you noticed a small little mistake in this? The tale seems to be passed down, maybe incorrectly. The sentence about the powerful and wicked man who took over Hyrule is obviously hinting to Ganondorf. But when he talks about the Princess of Hyrule and the hero of legend, yes, that links up with past Zelda games, but not the imprisoning war, because the hero of legend, who could possibly be the ancient hero, as seen in the Calamity screens and everything like that, he wasn't in the imprisoning war. As you see, the details of this fight that fell victim to the haze of time, well, yeah, it might have gotten a little jumbled up. Something that you can take from all of this is that Princess Ruto may have served in both the imprisoning war as the Sage of Water and the first Calamity. Zora can live for hundreds of years though, maybe even thousands. So she could have been in both events, even if all of her fellow sages were already dead. You can obviously tell that the divine beasts in Breath of the Wild were named after these ancient sages. Naburu to Naboris, Ruto to Ruta, Darunia to Rudania, and Medley to Meadow. The Zonai also have animals that represent the Triforce. Oops, Stella's Alphos attack! The Zonai also have animals that represent the parts of the Triforce. This is really interesting because the animals they chose perfectly tie into the story of all the Zelda games. You can also see in the labyrinths how there's a voice that talks about being the ruler of boars, owls, or dragons. And these are the animals that we are going to talk about right now. The boar represents power. Boars are powerful creatures in real life. They can charge forth with their mighty tusks, but it also makes sense because Ganon is kind of a pig boar monster. Boars or pig-like animals are powerful and wicked. The owl is obviously for wisdom. You could see these throughout the Spirit Temple and other places, owl statues. Minoru's Zonai relic also seems to have the face of an owl on it. Owls are wise animals. They've been associated with that forever. Let's talk about Kebora Gebora. We all know him. He offers Link insight throughout his journey, and even an owl appeared in Link's Awakening, guiding Link throughout Koholint Island. So owls are wise animals that represent wisdom. And last but not least, the dragon for courage. Dragons are bold and courageous. And in Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda had to have incredible courage to swallow that secret stone and become a dragon. That is courage itself, and she had the wisdom to know what to do for her people. You could see these animals throughout many things in Zonai culture if you take the time to look. Have you noticed my percentage in the bottom right corner of the screen? That percentage may be there in your game, or it may not. This depends on if you have completed the main storyline or not. The percentage will only appear once you have done that, and you can see where you are in the game. Things like named locations, clearing out caves, finishing all side quests and side adventures and things like that. This all works towards your percentage. The same goes for how many recipes you've registered. Recipes are a fun part of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. This was a really fun addition to the Zelda series, as you can cook to your heart's content using various materials and parts. And you can also see how many you've registered right there. I've gotten all the recipes. This also will only appear after you've completed the main storyline. Well, this may not be very important. Under this bridge right here, there are 2 apples. I wonder who put those there. This is very sweet because one of Dorian's little daughters loves hot buttered apples. Maybe she just wanted a place to store them. It is a pretty sneaky spot. Something I personally find interesting is that the highlights in Minoru and Raru's hair match the color of their secret stones. Like, you could see Minoru's beautiful lavender reflects her purple secret stone, and Raru's the yellow or gold for his beautiful secret stone of light. We can ask the question, are the Zonai born this way? How it kind of reflects their own power that's inside of them that entire time? Or does it only come after they get that secret stone? And last but not least, Kotake and Koume are in Tears of the Kingdom. Yes, is that a surprise? There they are right there. The 2 golden masked women who seem to be high in command by Ganondorf. There they are again. And we're back to the memory of the day, a show of fealty. Here they are shown again, the golden masked Vi. We can guess that these are Kotake and Koume, and both of their outfits are themed blue and red. They both have those jewels on their forehead, and both of their outfits are themed to match their element. They are Ganondorf's surrogate mothers. They practically adopted him. They kind of shaped him into the Vo he is today. An evil, cruel demon king. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't seen my other video where we covered secrets, it'll be right up here on the screen for you to watch. Please consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome Zelda content. Please floor-yosh the like button, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more. Bye, Hyruleans!